This is Can We Just Talk, the podcast and YouTube series where it doesn't matter if you're living under a rock. We'll fill you in on the past week's biggest, weirdest, and most impactful stories, headlines, and developments in a nice casual conversation. Set your volume and settle in, because coming to you from a random basement in New Jersey, this is Can We Just Talk. Episode 28. We've got Lucas back. Muffin's out of here. He had 1 week. Didn't too bad, but we've got Lucas back. He's gone. Everyone else returning again. Episode 28, like I said. Chris Sakonis, Jacob Berg, Lucas DiSavino, Richie Wellbrock, Austin DiSavino. Let me get the question out of the way. Chris, how are you doing?
I'm pretty good, Troy.
All right, Richie, you're pretty good then. All right,
Yes.
that's not bad. I know it's been a long few 10 minutes. I know Austin's already been annoying you a little bit, so I apologize for that. Jacob, all good there. I know you took the first step in returning to natural life, so that's great.
You bet. I got a funny story this week too. I'm gonna take my monologue opportunity right off the bat. So yesterday, gets to about 10 o'clock. It's more like 9:30. What does every normal person do at 9:30? Crave Mexican food. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna order up some Mexican food. I find a spot. It's like 5 minutes drive, not too bad, right? They're open till 10. I can sneak in a late order. I call them. I get my order. My order is barbacoa beef tacos, right? And on the line, the guy goes, "Do you want one or two?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I'll take 2 tacos." And I get there, right? And what happens? It's 2 full orders of the meal. So I accidentally got 2 orders of 3 tacos in each. So I had way too many tacos. Like, what type of question is that? Like, I called in, I placed the order, I ordered tacos. They're like, "Do you want 1 or 2? What? That's how I'm feeling, Troy.
I'd be confused. I'm just as confused as you. I don't know where this story came from, but
I had leftovers. I had leftover tacos tonight, though. They were pretty baller, so I'm not too mad.
Okay. Well,
Thank
that's
you for
good.
sharing, Jacob. Thank you so much, buddy.
Oh God, Lucas.
I know where it
This dude.
Where is it?
I can't mute.
Answer it.
Mute.
Let him know. Put him on. Put him on. Put him on.
Well, hold on.
Put him on the pod.
All right, we're good.
How do you know it's me?
I'll take a pause, and we'll come back into this. But Jacob, glad you got tacos. Glad you had enough for leftovers. Glad to hear your week has gone well. Chris, as a recap, everything's good for you. Richie's good. Austin, sorry, Jacob took up all your time, so I think you're good too.
Great.
And Lucas, you're fine except for your phone ringing.
No, I got some.
What?
I want to say something. Am I unmuted?
We're sharing
Yeah,
mics.
he's
So
unmuted, dude.
All
Yeah,
right.
he's unmuted.
Jacob, I liked your opening story, and I definitely want to talk to you at some point about my mishap ordering Chinese food one time. It's a good story.
We can maybe
Gosh,
get
what
to
a
that.
dilemma.
We can get to that later in the episode if we go through this quick enough. It's a
So
it's a
far,
good
pretty
story.
well.
So far, it's not going too
Everybody's good. You'll get to hear Lucas'
fans
story,
already calling in.
okay?
well. I know. All right, Jacob, you had your monologue. You get to kick it off for us here today. What's going on with Usher this week?
All right. We got some news about Usher. Back in the news. Apparently, he's doing something crazy. So, let's see. Let's start with Usher. Pop star, pretty popular in the 2000s. Pretty not relevant at all in this decade. But he's coming back. He's trying to be popular again. And with the rise of Dogecoin, with the rise of cryptocurrencies and NFTs and everybody just making their own money, Usher decided to do the same. He printed out a bunch of counterfeit dollars with his face on them, but they look like real dollars. And crazily, he actually did a bunch of different denominations too. He's not just we don't just have Usher bucks in 10s and 20s. He's going down to 1s and 5s and up, and he's really making himself a whole currency.
Have
But
fun with it.
yeah, he had fun with it. But basically, what happened was on Instagram, one of the actresses at the strip club that he went to posted some fake Usher money and asked the question, what would you do if, like, you know, you did like your service for Usher and he paid you in fake dollars? And that kind of spiraled out of control to everybody being like, what the hell, Usher? Like, you went to a club and you tipped the strippers with fake money, and everybody was like getting on Usher's case saying how bad of a dude he was. Everybody at the same time was also laughing because this dude literally made his own money. He paid real money to make fake money, which is hilarious.
So it has some
it's a
value.
funny story all around. Yeah, I guess it has some value maybe to him, but basically, the club that he went to, they cleared it up. They said Usher came in. It was just a promotional thing. He gave us a ton of these dollars to use as, like, I guess, like props, and like that he paid well
That's
and
a good
like
lie.
acted like a gentleman and paid like the
That's a good PR.
the server and the staff well. So apparently not a terrible guy, just had a cool idea. Make his
Let's
own
stop
money.
a little bit. You know, just
What was the standard on this currency? Were they redeemable for anything? Is there any value to it
Nope.
or no?
it was
No
like when you went to
value.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay.
You had, like tickets.
Just
But
looks cool. I
at
mean,
least-
think about this. He's gone dumping like a whole suitcase of money out on the strip club. That's pretty cool.
You know
At least
what?
when you go to Chuck E. Cheese, the tickets are worth something. You can redeem them for something. It seems strange that he would pay money and make all this fake money
He-
for really nothing.
But
I
if you
think
give
he-
him we giving him a chance. Like people make currencies all the time.
I think that he uses it
Seriously.
in his show at like when he had his
Oh.
residency. So I think it was part of his show.
Okay, maybe, but like people be flexing their currencies all the time. Everyone talking about. He's like, I just made one and like check it out. It's a hard copy. I printed it
Yeah.
out literally. And
Yeah,
like,
there's a difference between making one and then
Look at that.
spending one at a
Is
strip
there?
club.
So wait, the story was
Who would
that
have thought?
the story was that apparently he paid strip club workers, but it turns out that's not the case. It was a misunderstanding.
Yeah,
if you tip them in, like,
everybody
Bitcoin or
thought like,
Dogecoin?
oh, like
Well, that's an
he
actual
was
currency.
using-
There's value behind that
how's there not value behind this? What's back?
because
You
no
bought
one's,
it with
no
real
one's
money,
buying
right?
it. So
He's the
cryptocurrency,
only one that has it.
cryptocurrency is
Somebody
something you
would
could go
buy
sell
it,
and actually
Troy.
buy it for.
Yeah, but
There's no market
Dogecoin,
for this.
what's it trading at? Like it used to trade at fractions of a penny, right? So
Yeah.
who would have thought that Usher would have made a more tangible currency than Dogecoin
It's-
or even Bitcoin? It's
Yeah,
in your
yeah.
hand.
He
It's the
wasn't
most
tipping them.
stable
He was just
currency
tipping
you
them
could
very
see.
bad.
Yeah, but keep in mind, there's also when that negotiation is happening between Usher and someone working in one of those places, there's an understanding of what they need to receive for payment, and the understanding wasn't in bucks.
No, but it was like it was blown
Right.
out of proportion. To get
Yeah,
back to your
yeah.
question, like it the what the club said, the official statement from like the club manager, they were like, this was like clearly a promotion. Everybody like that was working there knew it was a promotion, and Usher didn't like mislead anybody by giving them fake money. So
But he
it was
definitely did. But he did.
something
No,
to
and
promote
he
his
didn't
next
The
show.
try-
argument that,
use
that
it.
you could have is what is stopping anyone from making their own currency if they use real money to make it to create this? It's
The
happened before. It's
existing-
happening again. It's the start of who knows what's going to happen. You know, but Usher is starting, maybe not starting, but he's the first little blip you're going to see of like,
So
because we're hearing about different currencies, our own currencies.
This
so
is
our
totally
next
different.
our next merch is going to be Lucas Bucks.
Yeah, you should draw those up.
So
I didn't say I
the-
want to be on a blip.
the
I
di-
don't want to be a
The
blip.
difference is, and we've talked about this term a lot, so I guess that just means it's getting popular. Yeah, you could make something and sell it as an NFT. You can't sell it as a currency because there has to be a market that values that currency and is tradable.
Maybe
So
his posse did.
So a cryptocurrency, yes, because it did go through a certain process. It did become redeemable on a certain market. One person can't just be like, this is currency because no one's buying it. No one's using it. Dogecoin, while it was a joke to start, it's available on a market. You can purchase it. You can trade it. You can use it to
So
buy
that's how you
certain.
hand it out.
But
So what
yeah,
you're
you-
saying is that
sarcastically.
if Usher put his money on eBay to buy, then it would be a currency.
I would
So
argue
we should've
that's
done that
I'd
first.
argue that's more of being an NFT still.
Okay.
It's
an
not
item.
it's not
Potato,
backed.
potato.
There's not a market cap on Usher bucks.
He should just call each buck art.
Not a
Also-
market cap on US dollars
Yes,
either.
law.
Also, it's not backed by anything.
So you guys
Neither
are
are US
Neither is
dollars.
US dollar.
That's true.
not the gold standard anymore. I think you're missing the opportunity for a really fun conversation. Like Usher makes dollars. What do other celebrities make? Because I have all of my money on Shia LaBeouf, just making Shia LaBeouf pennies and only paying in Shia LaBeouf pennies. Like that's it. He just carries around a handful of pennies and he just throws them and it has his mug on.
And
it.
honestly, if you're lucky enough to get one of those, like there is value that you can just create behind it because
But it's
people
not-
I
love
would
him.
definitely pay
That's-
more than a penny for that.
It depends on who you're buying this from. Like, what are you buying and who you're getting from? What
Yeah,
if that person
but-
loves Shia LaBeouf?
But Lucas, the difference is it's a piece of memorabilia. That's like saying like if baseball cards can be a currency because people buy them for value. That's not how it works. Like it needs to have a marketplace. It needs to have like an economic backing. Like it's
Right,
just
and we
makes
just tend to put it
memorabilia.
on money.
It just happens to look like money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why not put
pretty
it on
much.
anything?
That's pretty much it. Again,
we all
this
just
is
agree on it.
this is more like a memorabilia trader piece. If it was digitalized, it would be an NFT. I would say if one person were to do this and you wanted to find real value in this as memorabilia, if Kanye West did this, those bucks would be selling for thousands of dollars.
So there's my point.
He could literally print money.
Not
But
exactly.
no, hold on. But that's not considered. That wouldn't be a currency. That would just be memorabilia. That's the difference.
Try to tell that to everyone calling it a currency on social media.
I bet you
It's
that
like a
Kanye
knickknack,
fans
Lucas.
trust Kanye more than the US government. More than they
So-
trust the US government. They would be like, all right, yeah, it's backed by Kanye.
The difference here is
Which-
if you consider it a currency, then that is counterfeiting money, which is
Yeah, but-
illegal. It's memorabilia, so it's not illegal. You can't
it's not-
counterfeit money.
yeah, and Kanye's
Well,
value
well,
is
Troy,
only
it's
based
not
off his
counterfeit money because
value
it's
from
not
the US government
attempting
anyway.
It's not counterfeit
simple
money
thing.
because it's not being passed as U.S. dollars. It's
But
an
then it's not
entirely
considered
different
currency.
entity onto its own.
Yeah,
Well, but it's
Maybe
not
at
currency.
first, but
What's
if
the
but if
rate
people
going?
but if Usher fans
Conversion rate.
who are apparently still a thing in 2021 were to begin to collect these and they buy and sell them and eventually an Usher buck is worth a certain value, it can sort of become
What's
maybe
conversion
not
rate?
an official
Come on.
currency, but like I'm trying to think of the word.
Yeah,
Like
but it still
a-
wouldn't be a currency. It'd be something that
Mhm.
becomes, again, like Jacob pointed out.
So he was just
There's
calling it
hold
the
on,
wrong thing.
like Jacob pointed out, it's baseball cards. Yeah, got popular enough. It still stayed a collectible, never became a currency. It's like what we're talking about. The only reason we're talking about it as being considered a currency is because it's shaped like a U.S.
Jacob,
dollar.
what a good.
It also has different denominations of 1, 5, 10, 100 Usher bucks.
I mean, yeah, but you could say
Baseball
the same
cards don't have
thing.
that.
There's different levels of baseball cards, though. There's shinies. I don't know what the actual term for it is. There's like
Shiny.
that's Pokemon, but there's also like the holographics,
Holographic.
the hollows. Yeah, like so. There's different levels.
I like it because it's shiny.
Well, shiny Pokemon. That's a thing. The cards, the shiny cards. Oh, you forgot about that, didn't you? Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah,
It
shiny
seems
Pokemon
like
cards.
anyone can make a store of value, right? If people can just make cryptocurrencies in their garage, why can't Usher do the same
They
thing?
can.
He's got a currency too. He just decided to also have paper money, like
Let's just
old
print it out.
All right, then it's just not a bona fide currency. Then,
It's
and
not
then at the end of the
money.
day,
It's not money. You can't
if-
use it as money.
It's just
The
a hard copy of
United States.
Dogecoin.
The United States economy, the way it's set up, would not accept that money.
Not
Like Chris
yet.
said, it's counterfeit money. It's memorabilia. It's like trying to go and pay your bills in Pop Funko things because they're worth
Well,
money. That's
hang on a
not how it
second.
works.
it's just barter.
Awesome. But then
Yeah.
all you'd have to do is exchange your Usher bucks or Dogecoin or whatever for real dollars before you make the transaction. Therefore,
That's
you're still
selling.
storing the
That's
value
selling.
in the
You don't
Usher
have
bucks
to.
You're
and then
selling.
trading it at the
That's
point of
the-
Then
sale.
you can
messed
say
up
flipping
part.
houses is currency.
That's the messed up
That's
part.
currency.
No, that's
You
not the
trade-
same thing.
That's the same thing. You're buying
thing.
memorabilia and you're
Nah,
selling it.
not the
That's-
same
that's the
thing.
messed
You're
up part.
wrong.
It's way
It's
less.
just the liquidity.
Make Hot Wheels
We need-
cars a
What
currency.
we need is PayPal. We need PayPal to establish a rate and then enforce the transaction just like they would with Bitcoin.
Jacob, I really wish that we could just realize, like, look, it's really just a matter of going back to what does that person you want something from want, and the government was just like, you know what, I need to be a part of this. hold on, everyone. You're going to have to use this thing, which is called money. I can make
Well,
it. You can't.
No,
And that's going to be the value on
well, the
things.
reason they did that was so that there was like a medium between everything. So
Do we
there
need
was
one?
there was a
Do we need
commonality.
one?
Yes,
Well,
because
you can't
what if,
really trade.
because what if
2.5
you're a
cows.
chicken farmer and no one wants to buy your chickens?
Well,
Like,
you got shitty
or no,
chickens,
no,
bro. You
say
got meat.
say you're a chicken farmer, but the person that's selling wheat isn't in the market for chickens, but you still want to get it. So now you have to go
gotta use
find.
your brain.
Now you got to go to someone, give someone your chickens, and find something that someone's willing to sell you for their wheat.
Yeah,
Instead-
it's called life, Troy.
That's called money.
Humans
Let's
figured
just
this
have
out
money.
thousands
No,
of years
okay.
ago. Usher's not doing anything different. It's memorabilia, and he gave it away to strip club.
My
It
chicken
was
was
attached to
memorabilia.
title. It's nothing more than that. He's not making
Austin?
a cryptocurrency.
You didn't do anything
I'm
wrong.
done with you.
Free
Calm
Usher.
down. If it
Next
wasn't
question.
for Usher, I would still have to freaking raise chickens and then trade for pencils and then trade my pencils for fucking mugs to go get
Yeah.
my wheat from across
Yeah.
the street.
But you-
Because of
Usher
Usher,
did
we have
nothing
money.
wrong. Think about this. Usher did nothing wrong. Listen, he went in there and he
No
tipped them
one's
with
saying
No
Hey,
one's
he
saying
did
Usher
anything
did anything wrong.
Listen, just listen to me. Usher went into that club and he was like, hey, I'm tipping you with this. And honestly, that value on that dollar really mattered on how that worker viewed the thing backing it.
But the worker
What if
wanted
she
cash.
Listen, what
The
if she just listen? What if she hated the government so much and she's like, you gave me $1? Well, then she shouldn't be a working, stripper girl.
No,
But it just matters on how much you view it and how much you value it. And maybe what if she was a huge Usher fan? She's like, oh my God, I love these. Like, this is amazing.
But that wasn't the
It's just a
case.
viewpoint.
That's all.
Well,
What
yeah,
is.
she just wasn't a fan.
That's
She's
all-
like, hey, wait a
But
Yeah,
second.
that-
and
and
if
that's-
I
and
had
that's-
2 wheels, I'd be a bicycle.
And that's why we have cash.
We don't live in a
because-
hypothetical world.
That's why we have cash, because everyone wants cash.
Everything's a hypothetical.
You don't have to
If we all
worry.
just
Hold
agree
on.
upon it, it doesn't make it.
Hold on. That's why we have
It's
cash.
hypothetical.
You don't have to worry if these people are Usher fans. We have cash because everyone wants cash because it can be traded for anything. That's why we have cash. It's commonality. Again, Usher didn't do anything
You
wrong
think
here.
it's a good thing. It's a
The
bad.
chat is angry that we're fighting. Can we
I
move
know.
on?
I don't know why
chat
we're
is
fighting.
angry.
I just want to say Usher did nothing wrong. It was a misunderstanding in the beginning of the week. Usher did pay for everything. It
People
was
are gonna think
promotion.
We're not about Usher.
Hold on. It was purely a promotional thing. People were like, Usher, why did you stiff all these people and pay them in your fake currency? It's not what happened. It was a promotional thing. Just want to clear Usher's name. Again, I haven't heard Usher's name in like 5 years.
Usher's better than Chris Brown. I'm just saying it before
That
this.
was the
Yes, of
point.
course he is. Everyone is that hasn't beat a woman is better than Chris Brown.
Okay, Austin. I'm talking about his music. I'm saying like his music's better. Like if you want to go there, you can. But his music
More
was
of
better.
a-
We need to throw
More of a
that out
Jason
there.
Derulo fan, but
Oh,
That's just me.
See, now we're learning about Troy.
Talk about
Now we're
someone
basing
who's-
about
Derulo is better
I
than
wanna
Usher.
say- I want to say this. Talk about someone who's translated really well over the past few years. Like the guy's got like 20 million followers on TikTok, and it's
20
not because
million.
he's putting out good
And
music.
see, Troy values that. That's his
He
currency.
stayed relevant. He
That's
stayed
his
relevant.
currency. How
Props
many
to that
followers
guy.
you got? That's your
Can we
currency.
get Polar Music to weigh in here?
Who are we
Ricky.
comparing? Jason Derulo and Usher?
Yeah,
The verdict is
Jason Derulo.
Usher beats Jason Derulo, but in a cage match fight with no rules, Jason
there you
Derulo wins. And
He's
if we're
ripped.
looking at like modern day, like right now, Jason Derulo's music beats anything Usher's putting out, or like the most recent shit because he was good like 50 years ago.
Yeah, but Usher
Now he's nothing.
walks so he could run.
This is just like Kid Cudi. I wish people would stop putting out music, and I'm
Okay,
happy
all
that
right,
Usher
this take
isn't.
is terrible. That's
Kid
I've
Cudi
heard
is
that
putting out a
take.
song with
terrible.
XXX.
Alrighty. Chris,
Austin,
I
You
got
were
insider
specifically asked
information.
about the music, and you started talking about a cage fight.
Hold up. hold up.
Listen, we're also
Chris,
talking about how Usher money is
They
real
make
money,
cookies
okay?
and
So
peach
I'm not in the
sticks.
wrong here. Usher's in the wrong.
All
We can
right,
come
well,
to a
I've had
Chris,
enough
what's
talking
going
about
on?
transaction costs for
Chris,
one
what's going on
podcast.
with you? You had a story this week that was pretty interesting.
Yes.
Can you catch me up what's going on with the aliens?
Yeah. Well, we don't.
I don't know
if
why
they're
this wasn't the
aliens.
lead topic, to be honest. This
Well,
should be the lead topic.
aliens?
Well, we don't know that they're aliens. That's not the story here. In 2019, there was a leaked video of a triangular-shaped, unidentified flying object that was captured by Navy pilots, and it was, the video was sent over to the Pentagon. It was being, analyzed, whatever. At some point, the media got a hold of it, and the Pentagon confirmed that the video was real. It wasn't a hoax, and that it's part of, quote, ongoing examinations of UFOs. It was basically a triangular object. It would really, best way I could describe it, it was kind of turn at really sharp angles, like really intense G-forces that if a person were like trying to pilot that and applying those G forces, like they would break every bone in their body and like die. So like it was very clearly not like an airplane or anything like that. I don't know, but getting back to the point, now there's this whole discussion now that the Pentagon has confirmed that this is a legit video. What was it then? And there are a couple theories. Obviously, aliens are what a lot of people think of when they think of UFOs. I think that a more plausible theory is that it's some sort of high-level, top-secret experimental military technology. In fact, the U.S. Navy 2 years before this applied for a patent of a triangular object that could like turn at really high G forces. That's like very similar to what was captured in there. So there could be a rational explanation for this.
How is this
All right.
Aliens, Chris.
We hate
How is it
planes. We
boring?
hate planes.
How is it boring?
Hold on. This
Leave
No,
Chris
you
alone.
hold on.
Everyone.
You hold on.
I'm trying to give context to a story that's taken over the media.
It's good. He's giving
For God's
good
sake, I'm a
context.
journalist.
Jesus, let the man talk.
Rutgers has nothing to do with the story, Troy.
So-
You're not
Wow.
in this.
Chris,
We're
I
really
love this
amped up
story.
today.
I think this is a great story.
Oh, so you get to talk. You get to talk.
Troy, the mic works. Why are you yelling?
talking.
I would just say it was boring. I'd rather let's
The
just
mic-
say it's
Troy,
aliens.
the mic is working.
You need
fine.
to you need to be
Wow.
quiet.
The mic is working fine.
Seems like some of us have had a pretty stressful week.
I just want to say aliens are not boring. Like they're the one.
I'm
thing we
not
don't know
saying
about.
aliens. I'm saying let's just pretend they are aliens. Let's forget about
Troy, you're
aliens.
belaboring the point. Moving
Yeah,
on. Chris, I thought that's a great story, and I think it's really interesting that like with there's two very different questions. Are aliens real and are aliens on this planet? Yeah, aliens are real 100%. There's no question. There's too many planets. There's too. Do you know how big the universe is? Okay. Do you know how big the universe is? Okay. It's big. Are they here? That's a different story. I don't know
Well,
if they are. And do we want them here?
Well, to the second answer, I think my answer to that would be hell no. I don't want them
Yeah,
anywhere near my
of course
planet.
not.
Like this is my planet. Like you have no business here. But you know,
Well, like, I mean, I think the chat is asking, did the aliens take Troy? Yes, the aliens did take Troy. But like, if aliens come here, look at our history. The only thing we have to go off of human history, when a more advanced civilization encounters one that does not have the technology to compete with their own, what happens? The more advanced technology wipes out the other one. If they can come to our planet, they are millennia ahead of where we are. And why would they meet us with peace?
Austin, you're assuming that aliens would be very similar to us. You're
Yeah.
assuming that they would also have gone through a period of evolution and inventions, and you're assuming that the way that, like, all right, maybe the things happened over the past 1,000 years where, you know, we're periodically improving our inventions and we have cultures and societies. You're assuming that aliens are similar in that sense. I mean, I think that there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee that aliens are anything remotely like humans. In fact, I'm pretty sure, I mean, based on science fiction, you'd probably guess that they're quite the opposite.
But the same principles to get here, Chris. You're the plane guy. Like, to get to this planet, the nearest planet that could inhabit life that we know. And like, they might be hydrogen based beings. They may be different base beings than carbon, which is what we are. But again, like the mere technology to get to our airspace and move that way, they'd have to be insanely technologically advanced.
well,
I,
I think
Like,
I would just like to I would just like to point out two things. First of all, I was not saying this story is boring. I was saying it's boring to think that this has something to do with things on Earth. Let's go with the more fun topic and pretend like this is aliens.
Oh, I must have not got that when you just yelled boring and put your
Yeah,
thumbs
that
up.
was really mean.
So-
Troy.
Very hurtful.
Unprofessional.
All right,
I
well,
don't
get
care
over it.
deeply about this story.
So-
I see what you meant. I see what you meant.
Well, are you gonna bring it back into
Let
space? Because
Troy
I had a
finish.
question for Chris about the airplane. What? Why is that funny?
I'm laughing at Troy.
All right, continue,
Well-
Troy. Continue.
It wasn't
Tell us
Troy's story.
Chris, what were you going to say?
Well, Troy was talking, and Richie just rudely interrupted him. So
Well, Troy interrupted.
No,
you.
everyone interrupted me. It's fine.
Because you interrupted Chris.
I'm the host of this goddamn show.
This is a little off the rails.
Let's just see it. Let's just see it.
I forget what I was
Okay,
going to ask.
Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back here.
This is what I was going to
So
say.
I'll go next, Troy. You
Okay.
can go.
Moore's
Fine,
Law. Are we
fine.
all familiar with what Moore's Law is? No. not
Yes.
familiar.
Yes.
Okay. Moore's Law. Things grow exponentially. So
You're nice.
while we say we are millenniums away from being able to do these things, keep in mind aviation has only been possible for the past 100 years for humans, and in a short amount of time we've been able to go to other places like the moon. We've been able to send robots to Mars. We're making such huge leaps and bounds that the idea of being able to travel and cross to other planets may not be so far-fetched in 100 years. So we might, what are you making faces for? Because we might not be that far behind than you think. We might, in 100 years, we might be able to send people to other planets. So I wouldn't say we are thousands of years, tens of thousands of years behind aliens, because who knows? We might be able to do something similar to this to other, to other planets, maybe even Mars in 100 years. I wouldn't say we're that far behind.
Well, I think, there's one thing that really is worth taking into consideration. This is like one of the key hypotheses surrounding the Fermi paradox, which is basically asking the question, where are the aliens? And one of the theories behind the Fermi paradox, and the one that I think makes the most sense, is, there's two things that work against us coming into contact with aliens. One, intelligent life, or really life in general, beyond single-celled organisms. Like, a lot had to go right and break Earth's way for it to end up the way that it ended up. Like an asteroid strike, the atmosphere not being formed properly, solar bursts because of a weak magnetic system. I can go on and on. Like, all those things could have derailed Earth before it ever really got to the point where it could hold life. Like Venus, from what some scientists think, may have been like Earth at one point, and now it's like a super hot rock that's inhospitable to life. So, where am I going with this? Well, think about this.
Okay.
The Earth has been around for a really long time. I'm trying to think of the exact number.
2021 years.
It's been a bit longer than that, Austin.
Oh, that's how
But
old America is.
I'll put it to you this analogy that I read once. It's basically if you took the entire history of life on Earth and put it into a 24-hour day, all of humanity from the first people who evolved to now would be at 11:59 seconds p.m.
Nice.
My point is, it's possible that the nearest Earth-like planet that's I think 28 light years away had
Light
an intelligent civilization, or could develop one in the future, but they would have to coincide with the timeline that we have set. Like,
Yeah, but what about this?
possible-
What about
Yeah.
this though? It's so big. You're saying all these things had to go right for life to happen. Oh, it's
Yes.
almost like too good to be true. Like what if somebody or something it's a big experiment, and the galaxy
simulation
itself
theory.
was an experiment that something was doing just to see what would happen if they blew something up in this vacuum. And all of a sudden, like now, microscopically speaking, because we're like on a scale of like very small things, and then we're like here, and then who knows how big it goes or how small it goes. And I'm just saying, like, hey, what if they're trying to see what's going on here? That they finally made something so small to look at what they've made. And it's us. What up? They're looking at California.
See,
and
I
it's
have,
like,
I have
what
a
the
theory
fuck is
that
this?
goes off. I have a
What?
theory that goes off what you're saying here, Lucas.
I'll
and
spin it. Let's go.
You're kind of saying, there's something else that like had a hand in kind of making our
And the hand
universe,
is
or
just
making
like a figure
the
speech.
universe as we know it. But I think that a cool explanation that might even work with that is that there are beings out there that can perceive more dimensions than we can. So I'm going to take it from Interstellar. I don't even care. But like if aliens can like perceive time or perceive space in a different way that we do, then who's to say like there are problems in terms of space travel, in terms of space time are non-existent, and it is possible to do something like make an Earth.
But I wouldn't be too worried about things coming after us because like we're already dead. Like it's fine.
Well, No, but Jacob, that like you're
Over.
proving my point, and Troy, I have 3 things I gotta say, and then I'll shut up. Jacob, you're proving my point that if something can perceive different realities in us, do we actually want them coming here? Because if they can do that, we're done for. 2, Troy, you have no idea what you're talking about, saying that we could be a couple hundred years from sending intergalactic travel. Do you realize how fucking far
right,
everything
awesome.
in this
Wait,
universe
let me get
is?
his third thing down.
No,
Let me
no,
get
no.
my
I'm gonna
first
start
thing.
No,
My
no,
finger
guess what?
hurts.
No, guess what? No. You're not going to
So,
get it.
and the
I wanna
third
respond to
thing
that. No, hold on.
is
Hold
what
on.
episode?
Hold on. No, I'm going to respond to that. Hold on. I'm going to respond to it. I'll respond to it. Because guess what, Austin? The difference between what we were doing 100 years ago, flying with some like kites on a couple pieces
Okay.
of wood, compared to what we're doing now, is fucking crazy. Okay?
Yeah, but,
So,
yeah,
no,
but
hold
you're
on, hold on,
comparing that to
hold on,
light
hold on.
speed
Let me respond.
travel.
Hold on. Let me keep going. The difference is, how big is that gap from where we've come from there to now, and for being able to do what we are now to travel to other planets.
You don't understand the scale. A light year.
That's
A
what
light
people said,
year
though.
is the distance light
You're
can
living
travel
so in the
in
you're
our
living in the
years.
present.
Troy.
Austin. You're in 100 years from now. This take is going to sound idiotic.
Troy,
Idiotic.
no,
Everything's
it's
an idiot.
not.
Idiotic.
There is you. We would have to
I'm
break
100%
the
with Troy.
laws of physics as we know them to even come close to light speed, which is not possible. And if you do get to light speed, it's going to take.
It's not
Do
possible
you know
today.
how long a light year is? Our civilization will be done before a spaceship even reaches a
So-
light year.
So do you think that the law, Moore's law, which is proven time and time again to be true, you think this is the exception? It just stops now because
No,
we've hit
I'm just
a
saying
wall?
it's
Harry
that
Brown's
large.
is perfectly
This
correct.
is Troy, let me say, I just think that reaching that is so large that our civilization will destroy itself before we even come close to that,
You know
before we even sniff it,
You know what
before we
seemed,
even smell what a
you know
fart.
what seemed
Michael's
large?
right.
You know what seemed large? The fact that the fastest cars we had were going at top
Oh
speeds of like
my
150 miles per hour.
It's
and
all
then-
diesel mechanics.
And then no, that's not what I'm saying. That was like, wow, this is the best we're going to be able to do to travel. And then 30 years later, we put someone on the moon. We put
I'm
someone to
not-
walk on the moon.
Did we?
Do you understand though what interplanetary
Did we, though,
travel
Troy?
will
Honestly, if you told
require?
someone in the 1920s we were going to send someone and walk on the moon, that would have
You're-
sounded absolutely ludicrous.
You're comparing going to explore your next door neighbor's house with no technology.
That was
to
the next
travel-
frontier back then. That was the
Oh
next
my God.
frontier.
Put yourself
Great,
in the
that's great.
shoes
I'm
of
gonna
those
finish my
people
point. You don't
because
need to
they're
yell
saying
at
the
me.
same thing that you are saying right now. You're saying it's unthinkable and it's crazy, but
This
they
is-
were saying that about like Troy. We're all in different rooms right now.
It's-
Maybe in a different house, maybe not, and like we're all talking to each other with this face ish. 100 years ago, they weren't doing anything near that.
I'm not saying we're not going to be able to do unthinkable things in the future. That is not what my argument is. I agree that our technology and our civilization will advance exponentially. What I'm saying is that this level, we are not, it is too large of a level. We will not get there as a civilization. It is not going to happen.
Why?
It's not going to happen.
Well, why?
How? You can't say it because we've
Oh
been
my-
doing things
Do you
that we were not
understand
supposed to be able
The
to do.
distance. The distance, you would have to create a spaceship that could fly at speeds that we cannot perceive, and you'd have to fit that spaceship with enough supplies and self-sustenance that it could breed generations and generations and generations of human beings so that we had people when we get to the destination. It's not possible. And
I
my
like how you're
third
measuring
point,
hang on.
things
Austin,
and
what
letting
is
people
this?
Bang and make more babies.
You can't. I don't care about your
comparing
third
an
thing.
iPhone
Austin,
to traveling at light speed.
I don't care
Well,
about
hang
your
on.
third thing.
But
I don't
that's
care.
what they
We're staying here for a
did.
second.
When
I
it
think-
wasn't a thing.
We're
That's
staying
what-
here for a second because I think you're so wrong. But Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, I think we're forgetting about the most I mean, nothing really compares to light speed travel, but I think the most unanticipated development in human technology was the airplane. There were scientists in the late 19th century that said, no, I'm serious. In the late 19th century that said there is no way that you can possibly build a machine that could be heavier than the air and fly in the air. And
changing the
Well,
airflow
hang on,
over a
finish.
wing. Sorry, you're right. Sorry.
my
Sorry.
point is something that respected scientists thought was impossible through enough trial and error and development and experimentation became possible. Now, is it possible for humans to someday figure out a way to warp, the speed of light and all that? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not qualified enough to answer that question. My point is, it's kind of, I guess I'm trying to think of the word here. It's kind of fallacious reasoning to think that, you could perceive what humans are capable of 50 years from now, 100 years from now. Like, maybe you're right. Maybe it is impossible. Maybe we never get to that point.
Yeah.
But it's unknowable. It's unknowable.
The even Christopher Nolan, who loves and knows more about this stuff than all of us here combined. In his movie, he did more research on black holes. I'm giving you actual research.
We have Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk who are saying by 2050 we're going to be walking on Mars.
Elon Musk is rich and buys technology.
But Austin, hold on. We have actual scientists that are saying we might be able to go to Mars in this lifetime.
Mars is not the same as another galaxy.
Troy, to be fair, calm down. To be fair, we also have an actual scientist on this podcast, Half a Rack of Ribs. If anyone's qualified to talk about this and know about the future,
your citation because I'm saying something might not be possible.
Your citation is Christopher Nolan. Yet
it's not. If you let me
scientists saying that
sentence.
we can get to the next frontier, and then just another frontier. We can make
just another frontier. That's like a million frontiers down the road.
But that's such a focus today. Like that's like such a viewpoint from today's perspective.
No,
in 100 years from now, that might seem like so small. Like,
how are you supposed to have a viewpoint from not today?
100 years?
Well, that's history has taught these things, Austin. History has taught these things because 100 years ago it seemed impossible to go to the moon, and we did it. 100 years before that, it seemed impossible to quickly travel by train, and people figured that out. People just figure this stuff out. I'm not saying we're going to be traveling at light speed, but
that's the worst argument. You think someone's just going to figure out intergalactic travel?
Well, one person. It's going to be Austin, a set of knowledge that builds upon itself.
Yes, that is what we're saying.
Austin, what we're saying is we're already getting close to that next frontier of getting to Mars.
Look, I'm just saying
that's the step. That's the next step.
There's smarter people out there than the people at the Walmart that we go to.
Yes, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying we're not going to be able to get to Mars. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying we're not going to be able to do amazing things in space. The human race we know is going to, if we want to survive, is eventually going to have to leave this planet or change how we treat it. There's no question about that. Absolutely no question. So looking into space is our only option because there's no other islands on this planet that we can go to that we're not going to destroy. So we're going to have to look elsewhere. And I believe in the human race and our perseverance and our dedication and commitment to survival. That's the most basic thing that's burned into our memories or into our instincts. But going to another galaxy that's light years away. Our brains cannot comprehend the speed that light travels at.
Yes, we can. We can comprehend that. We know exactly what that speed is.
We can't rationalize it.
Yes, we can.
We cannot.
We
can measure it. We can measure it.
So we can comprehend it.
We can't perceive it. Can you see the light slowly going on and off?
No. You turn the light on and off. That's perception. So we know what it is. We know how fast it is.
Yo, who is this?
This is a bad take.
Hold on.
Oh my God, you guys are.
You're not a believer in science if you don't think we're capable.
I'm a believer in science. The
Okay,
only thing that would help us get there is a wormhole. Okay, and that
why is
may
that
be
impossible?
I'm
I
not.
think we're all arguing about things we don't know anything about.
No,
but we know a little bit.
Hold up.
Nothing.
Hold up, because I'm arguing that there's people that are smarter than us. That we've seen history repeat itself time and time again. That we make advances that at one point seemed impossible, and then 100 years from now, it seems wow, that was doable. What's next? What's impossible next?
Look up Neil deGrasse Tyson. He even says that this is not possible.
No, he doesn't say that. I've seen him say the exact opposite of that.
You're comparing going to Mars to going to another galaxy.
I'm saying that's the next step. That's the next frontier.
It's not the next step.
What's the next step?
Not
then?
this next step. Going to another solar system.
No,
that's the next step.
That's not the next step. We haven't even gotten to Mars yet, Austin.
From interplanetary. So before we even can think about going, boo,
but we all do that.
Wait, I'm confused. What you think I'm saying? We're going to be traveling at no
one else did it
at light speed in 100 years. I'm saying the next step is Mars.
Okay.
If If at one point that seemed
Man.
impossible,
That will
we do
happen.
That.
That will happen. There's no question. it
So
will
then,
happen.
then why can't we after that figure out advance even more to figure out how to travel at light speed?
I'm just saying it's not going to happen. That's what I believe.
That sounds so stupid because that's what so many people said about the moon. That's like that you're going to be proven wrong again.
Okay.
You won't because you'll be dead by that point. But
Yes, so will the human race.
You're gonna be dead.
that's such a bad take.
See, that's
I wish I was
the
here in
argument.
500 years because you're going to sound like an
500
idiot.
years. You think people do that 500 years? What's wrong with you?
Yo, why? Yo, Don Vito. Hold on.
Can I get to my third point, please?
What's your third point?
No, I want to
I'm
refute
afraid.
Chris first.
All right.
I can't believe we let Chris say that flying was like the best invention, the craziest thing
No,
that
I didn't
man
say. I
did.
didn't say it was the craziest. I said it was
It's
an
a plane
example. I think I said it was probably the best example of
Oh.
something that.
Okay.
lot of
I thought you were
prominent-
saying it was like
I
the
don't know,
most
the
notable
police-
example. I was like,
No,
skip over
I was
electricity and the steam engine
no,
and
no.
quantum superposition, and we're
Not
gonna
what
go
I'm
straight
saying.
to like falling in style like birds.
No, but no. My point was more of flying was something that before the Wright brothers took the first flight, it was viewed by many as impossible against the laws of science and all that, and then through trial and error, eventually it happened. And I don't think Troy or anyone is
Okay.
arguing it's going to happen overnight. It's not like the Wright brothers woke up one morning and went to the other brother was like, "Hey, look, I just built an airplane. You want to go fly in it?" Like, no, it took time. Trying to get to Mars is the next step to that. When you get to the point where you're traveling between galaxies, who the hell knows? The point is we don't have enough information to say one way or the other.
Somewhere out there,
But if you
Elon
can dream
Musk
it, you
is
can do it.
busting a nut hearing us talk
Indeed.
about this.
And I want to do a little skip before we move on.
If you can,
I
fly it,
am-
you can do it.
Let's get Elon
I-
Musk on this pod.
I
baby.
am your average Joe from 1542. Oh, there's no way we ever get up to that glowing rock in the sky. There's no way. And they're doing a podcast in the 1500s. Keep that in mind. That's the context. That's the setting. And then Austin, do you want to be the person? How about you be the person that says there's no way we get there? And then me and Chris can be the people arguing it's possible.
This scenario is impossible.
And then I'll say, well, in 500 years, in 1969, you're going to look like an absolute fucking idiot when they possibly either stage the moon landing or they get there just in time to beat the Russians in the space race. And then you say, wait, who are the Russians? That's not a country yet. And yeah, that's the point.
Look. I'll
This just
give
seemed
you.
impossible
I'll give
200
you.
years ago. Now it's a country.
I'll give you, like, you guys, your argument, your basis of your argument is the limitlessness of time, right? There's no end to time that we know of.
Bro.
Whatever. Fuck you
What's your
guys.
third point?
I was gonna say
When you're
it could
done
be
with that
look,
chuckle,
it could be
it's me,
possible,
because
but it's
you're
not
giving yourself
likely.
a grade right
It's
now.
not likely.
What's your third point?
What number episode is this?
28.
So we actually made it 28 episodes before 6 white dudes were talking about simulation theory.
That's my line. That's my
aliens.
line. Dude, not
It's
only
not
are
your
you wrong,
line.
but you're stealing lines now.
It's not.
Arnold
it's
Steele
not-
fired.
Dinner. Called the 6 white males and their opinion.
Look at the deep fried medicine marketing stuff from the beginning.
Well,
You'll know
we've
that
lost
that's
all
not-
our viewers.
That was a good switch there, right there.
We've lost all of our listeners.
By the
by
way,
now.
check out my podcast.
And I'm just going to move on here. So we've lost all of our listeners. Let's transition away here. So about, I don't know.
Yeah, actually.
No, we still have some.
How many we got? What's up?
It doesn't matter.
Judging by the
I don't
comments,
wanna
Harry
share
Browns
my
is still riding with us. So
I don't want to share my story today.
Harry Brown's
Let's-
always going to ride.
I'm
Let's
looking on
talk
Twitch,
about-
We only have 200 right now.
Guys,
Continue.
I need everyone to be quiet for a second, please. All right? Just let me just do this, okay? Chris, I'm looking at you, all right? All right. We're talking T-Rexes, all right? T-Rexes. Apparently there was a whole bunch of them. 2.4 million years ago, scientists were able to give us a prediction, an estimate of how many Tyrannosaurus rexes once lived on this earth. Again, 2.4 million years ago. The projected number in their lifespan for how long these
Birds.
species and
Birds.
animals were on this planet,
Flightless bird, lizard.
there's 2.5 billion of them. That's a lot of T-Rexes,
Dude,
guys.
that's so many T-Rexes just fucking running around.
It's not all at one time. It's
Oh.
total.
Oh.
But still, that's
Over
a lot.
how long of period of time?
A long time.
Well, okay, we want numbers. We're not in.
Well, they can't give me an exact number. This is an estimate. That's science.
But how long were Tyrannosaurus Rexes alive for? Like from what?
Millions of years.
Okay,
And
so
they
how
couldn't
many-
go to other fucking
So there were
galaxies. Troy.
2.5 billion T-Rexes
Let's just
across
say-
2.4 million years.
Okay, so
It's a
someone smart do the math. How many T-Rexes per?
Hold on, I got it. I got
One,
it here.
2,
I got it here.
Troy's
3,
figuring it out. That's why we hired him.
4.
That's the question we want to know. How many T-Rexes we got to
5.
dodge while we're carrying a spear?
There is like a billion of them
How many
Per-
people?
per
A
year.
billion now?
Is there like a billion of them? I don't know, Chris. What's the
Well,
answer here?
that's wrong.
There were a lot of T-Rexes, okay?
Well, let's see. The cumulative population
I don't understand how to
according
do
to
this
your
equation.
source
You know,
was 2.5 billion, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
It says around 20,000 T-Rex were alive at any time during the 22.4 million years the species survived. So, like, the peak population based off of that was around 20,000.
that's not that many
I feel like it's a lot.
over the entire globe, which looked like Pandora.
But keep
back
in mind,
then?
it wasn't just T-Rexes roaming around. There was also a lot of other giant dinosaurs.
True.
Troy, I have a perfect fact that I read today, and
Okay.
at the risk of being kicked off the show for bringing up what we just talked about,
Nice.
want to hear something crazy?
Yeah.
The T-Rex, the T-Rexes being alive, that time frame is closer to where we are right now than a T-Rex going back to a Stegosaurus by
Yeah.
about 25 million years.
Yo, so we're
How
pretty
crazy
close
is that?
to T-Rexes.
Yeah, they're closer to Pizza Hut than they were to like another common dinosaur that we associate with them together. There's some wild facts about time, and the amount of time that dinosaurs were roaming the earth is just wild to think that some of these dinosaurs never were on the planet together, and we are more closely not related because we are not reptiles,
And
but
sharks have just been
we are more closely
Sure.
associated with some of these than they are with other dinosaurs. Which is,
sharks and crocodile and alligators have just been like, and bugs, horseshoe crabs. They've been around a minute.
yeah,
They're pretty cool. Their blood's pretty handy. I don't know if you're doing any research into that.
no,
You
Really?
drink that shit, yeah.
Chris?
they're like dinosaurs. They
Chris,
really are.
Never? Look it up. It's
Never.
pretty interesting stuff. Listen,
Yeah.
look
Fucked
up
up.
horseshoe crab blood, what it can do. It's pretty cool.
That's
I've
a lot of
heard like
T-Rexes,
some
though.
vague stuff about it, but I never went into any in-depth research specifically in the field of horseshoe crab blood.
It's worth it. It's worth it more than you would ever think. Like you're not going to be
Okay.
disappointed going into that
I'll look
because
into
it's
it.
horseshoe crab blood. Like how great could it be, right?
I heard
Find out.
horseshoe crab blood is the secret to getting us to light speed. They're just going to inject that shit into rockets.
Bro, it wouldn't be knocked off the table. Honestly, once you see its rap sheet, it wouldn't be knocked off that table.
Let me look this
It would
up.
have to help somehow.
But yeah, a lot of T-Rexes. Anyone have comments? Is anyone a big Chris? You're the plane guy. I feel like there's a lot
I'm a
of
big
fan bases.
dinosaur guy.
Some people just love dinosaurs. Is anyone a
Huge.
dinosaur
I'm
fan?
huge into dinosaurs.
Nobody-
Troy.
ask
Really?
me- ask me my favorite
Huge.
dinosaur.
I know a lot about dinosaurs. Did you know actually that all the dinosaurs that you grew up learning about in like a little picture book and it like, you know, whatever, it's this color, it's that color, or it's got like fur, the only ones that we like full on know had any of that shit was like either they had feathers or not. Like we didn't, because like you can't find the fur around the fossils or some shit. So we just kind of guessed based off of where they lived if they needed the fur to live. So like dinosaurs, like a T-Rex could be like, you know, look like cousin it with like fur all over the place and shit. Like mammoths, it wouldn't make any sense, but they could have been totally naked. We don't know because you can't really
No,
see
mammoths.
it.
Mammoths we know.
No.
Woolly mammoths we know.
Yeah.
Well, I
Um,
mean,
They have
we
found.
can assume.
No, they found frozen ones.
Oh, they found frozen ones.
Woolly mammoths aren't as old as dinosaurs. They're a lot more recent.
Yeah, but then the globe warmed
Well,
up.
I was
and
talking
then
about the dinosaur.
I-
Man. That's
yeah,
different.
Richie,
Richie's
I've seen
right. We don't
a
know.
dinosaur
if
enthusiast.
dinosaurs are feathered
Yeah,
or
but
not.
also
Yeah.
color. Like they could have been dope ass colors. They could have been like fucking
And
matte black,
they-
like a Lego character you haven't unlocked in Lego Star Wars. You know.
Richie,
You know
not
what I'm
only
talking
that, there's a lot of reason to believe that a lot of them were really bright, vibrant colors, similar to how we see like peacocks today, like the male peacocks, and any male feathered animal tend to be really brightly colored because that's a way to attract mates during mating season. So honestly,
and scare off prey.
and scare off prey. Yeah. So
I
it's
wonder if
it's not
there'd be
it
a
wouldn't
way.
be uncommon to think that like a raptor would be like fluorescent yellow or pink.
Well, Troy, when you look at stars, aren't you looking at them million or a certain amount of years behind than what they actually look like?
Yes.
So what if we
Millions.
sent a camera back way out there and we like zoomed in hardcore on the Earth and tried to look at dinosaurs? Would we look at
We
dinosaurs
can't.
or would we look at what's ahead of us?
Well, by the time you got it out there, it
Yeah.
would be.
What would it be?
Your camera would have to
Yeah.
go faster than the speed of light out there.
Which brings us back to the
Which
speed
is
of light,
not possible.
which could be possible because we just
Well,
thought
it
about
is with horseshoe crab blood.
If you
it
make
is.
that your goal, I want to go see what the T-Rexes actually look like. Send a. That's maybe what they're doing. Maybe that's what they're doing now to us.
Well, I
They're
think that's how the
unidentified flying
scientists
objects.
counted them. They sent a camera back in time and they single-handedly counted every dinosaur and T-Rex to walk the
Are you
earth.
mocking me?
Or-
No, but
crab.
really though, dinosaurs are freaking sick, dude. Like,
Don't take
I'm-
the class dinosaurs unless you're ready though in college.
That's a hard
tough
class, I've heard.
Yeah, it's a tough class.
It is. It
Muffin
is,
failed
yeah.
that class actually.
Well,
Did
his
he?
name's Muffin.
Yeah, he
Why are
failed
they
it.
teaching
His
that
name
in
is
college?
Muffin
Why-
though, so that's not
Why
a
are
very
they
good.
teaching that in college? Unless you're going for paleontology.
Well, some
Why
people
are
are
they
going-
teaching
they're
that?
going
Some
for
people
us.
are
You
going
need
to
a
fail.
diverse
That's important.
education.
You could take it as like a core class to
Yeah.
take a broad range of stuff
Sounds like
just for fun.
sounds like a
Austin,
course you
college
take
is
for
about
anthropology.
education and enlightenment. It's not just about getting a job.
bro.
Yeah, it's not just about
You missed the
discovering
point of
fucking
college,
light
but-
speed, Austin.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to learn about things I want to learn about.
That's
Challenge
why
your
we're
brain.
not cover light speed. It's because we have gen ed classes that are about dinosaurs. That's exactly why we as humans are not going to discover light speed or how to go
Okay,
fast.
but if it was a gen ed class about astronomy, you'd be like, okay,
Yeah,
that's
let's
fine.
cancel-
We'll keep that one.
I'm going to speak
No,
like
because
the young
astronomy
kids.
is the study of the stars, not
I
getting
want
there.
to speak like the young kids. Can we cancel Austin's vibe? Because it's just negative as anything right now.
Why are you not happy
That's
about
facts. Peace up, A-Town.
I was gonna ask you-
It worked.
I was gonna ask, wait,
Ah,
what's wrong with
shit.
it? It's a science class. What's wrong with that?
How we've been doing this for 28 episodes. How do you not recognize I play a freaking character?
I don't want you to play that character. No one wants you to play
All right,
that
all right,
character.
here we go. We're all
you
going to
just
agree.
broke the character, though,
Dinosaurs
so
are
now
sweet.
Chris,
Dinosaurs
take us
are
back.
awesome.
Get
I
us
love
back.
dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs are overrated.
Dinosaurs
I
are
fucking love
great.
dinosaurs.
I love
Overrated.
dinosaurs. We're gonna go. We're
They
gonna
didn't even
travel
make
to
it.
the other side of the universe. We're gonna find the edge of the universe,
need-
guys. This is great.
listen.
I think we spent too much time with dinosaurs. We should talk about the species that didn't go extinct. That's how we should spend our time in this podcast.
Thank you,
Thank
Chris.
you,
Great
Chris.
segue. Austin, what's going on with cats?
Actually,
Airplanes.
horseshoe crab stuff is actually pretty crazy, Lucas. I looked it up, but if you look up horseshoe crab blood, it is pretty sad. The photos because they harvest the blood and it's very sad. But it's actually a big part of the COVID-19 vaccine. But I do have a really exciting story. I know we cover a lot of feline news. We cover a lot of firefighter rescuing feline news. And on April 16th, according to UPI, firefighters in Texas rescued a kitten found with his head stuck through a lug hole in a discarded vehicle wheel. The San Antonio Fire Department's technical rescue team said a family brought a kitten wedged in the metal part of the wheel into a station and said the feline had been stuck for 2 days. They attempted to use soap to lubricate the kitten's head so it could be squeezed out the hole, but what they ended up actually having to do is coat the cat in the leftover lasagna from the other cat that they rescued from the tree, and they were able to set it free. Isn't that amazing?
That's what I was gonna ask. Did they feed the
Lasagna.
cat after they rescued it? Did they give it
No.
an Italian meal?
So they the article, so they actually didn't lubricate its neck with the lasagna. They actually cut the tire, which I think is I'm happy that this cat survived and the family that found the cat adopted the cat right after. But like, imagine just like carrying a giant tire into a fire station with like a cat attached to it. I'm glad the cat is okay. If it went any other way, this would
I
not
wanted
be
this
fun.
tire, but there's a cat attached to it. What if they kept the tire and left the cat?
Oh,
They
that's
just wanted the
terrible.
tire.
That's terrible. But
Wait,
What's up with all these
Austin-
cats getting stuck places? I thought they were supposed to be like good at.
Is that Austin's bit? Like he does cat stories?
I think so.
I like that. I'm picking up on patterns here.
Did
Yeah, what's
I
up with-
miss it? How did the cat get in the tire?
you know, it was tough to determine because cats don't speak English last time I checked, so they actually don't know.
Did so somebody
wasn't
put
fun.
that cat in the tire,
No.
No.
or did
I
the
think
cat
the
just
cat-
like
Aliens
grow
did.
within the
Been there,
tire
and then
and just
couldn't get
got
out.
too big
Just-
one day?
Hear me out.
Cats do weird
Dinosaurs
shit,
traveled
Jacob.
through time, colluded with the aliens to put the cat through the lug hole.
Yeah, I don't know. I was
All
fostering a cat one
because
time.
you
got stuck
didn't
on the
believe in
couch.
UFOs, Austin.
What if it was born in the tire?
Richie, it is that time. Richie, hold on.
What if that's its home
It was born in the tire.
Hold on.
and it was
that
ripped
time.
away from its home?
Now it's time for Local Notes with Richie Welbrock.
Am I supposed to say Troy?
What do you got for us,
Troy,
Rich?
you
What
really
happened to
put-
you this week?
You really put me on the spot.
Every week here, Rich. Every week
Really
we
put
do
me on the
this.
spot here. Sheesh, I don't know what to say. You know, I did actually just receive my COVID vaccine. I actually got the J&J shot.
Me too. Wait, were you there?
Wait, you were there?
Dude, at
Wait,
the Somerset Road? And
listen, let me speak to the rest of the class. Troy and I went to go get our vaccines together.
together.
We went, Troy, he was screaming and crying. The guy couldn't put the needle in him. I had to come in and help him out. It was a whole ordeal. And then the very next day, we find out that they're recalling the shot. And we literally just got it.
You should
That
try to
was
go
kinda
back
funny.
and be like, can I return
Can you
this?
take it out? Can you
Yeah.
take it out?
It was
Put
funny
it in
because
to a
Truck it
manager.
out.
it was funny. I know we'll be fine. It's a very rare occurrence, first of all, with what's going on with J&J and the blood clots. It's been like 6 out of 6
Sounds
million.
like a band. J&J
But,
with blood clots.
but I thought it was funny because the doctor who was giving it to us, he's like, don't believe what you read online or hear online.
Yeah, that's
and
what
then
he said
literally
as we were
12
leaving.
hours later, it gets
I
recalled.
got to make
which
my
is-
piano joke.
Who's
It was
that
You know,
right?
the
great.
guy touches the microphone and then he gets it, you know?
Oh, the basketball player? Yeah. Well, yes.
Rudy
But I thought it was-
Gobert.
What if he didn't get it and they're like, we got to make an example out of him. People are going to take this seriously. Say they got it. Pay him $1 million to be quiet.
Well, he definitely got it. The NBA was hoping he didn't get it so they wouldn't have to shut the
He
entire
kind of
league
like
down.
ruined his whole career by doing that too. I don't know if it would have been worth the PR hit.
No. But, Richie, I
Bad
appreciate your story this week. I thought it was a very good story you shared.
You're welcome. Yeah, I didn't even listen. First thing I said when I got in there, I was like, yo, Mr. Doctor guy,
That's what happened.
after I get the shot, am I gonna be able to play the piano? And he was like, I mean, I don't see why not. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to play the piano. And I was like, this is crazy. I have no idea how to play the piano. You're a miracle worker. And he was not entertained. Troy, you can vouch for that. He was not entertained. He did not
He
think it
wasn't
was funny.
Why was Troy in the room?
Because we were getting our shots together.
Because
He
we,
was-
we dead ass got our
That's
shots
really
together.
weird.
Troy
You
went
know what's
in.
weird? The doctor was like, "Boys, you don't have to take your pants off." For
Yeah,
this."
dude, I don't think you guys got the
That's
chance.
not what we
shot.
meant by
Where
touching
did you
tips.
go?
Troy,
what Jacob was saying.
listen, before he put it in Troy's arms, Troy went first. So I was just sitting there staring at him. He was like, all right, we're going to try a new needle. I don't know if it's going to work very well. I don't always like the way it goes
Why
in.
didn't you
And
say
I
Troy
thought
just-
he was
Troy was like,
joking. He was
Troy's like,
dead
"What?"
serious.
what? And he was totally serious. And I was just staring at Troy and I was like low key laughing. I was like, I hope he stabs him a bunch of times. Are you
Joke's on
raising
you,
your hand,
put a
Chris?
blood clot in your arm.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why would he suddenly start to use a new kind of
I don't
needle?
know.
That's
But he
what he
tested
did.
it
He
on
was
me.
like,
Was he
I'm
out
gonna
of
try
the
this
normal
one out.
type of needle and he had to improvise?
I
Like,
thought
It
there was
a
only one type
melted
of
Dunkin'
needle.
Why didn't you
Donuts
share
straw.
I thought there was only one type of needle. I thought they were just all, sharp and
You're
pointy.
already in the same room.
But
You would think
apparently there's
so.
different. Apparently there's
Well,
different
it's
types.
funny too because we were in line and like we were standing next to each other. There was we're all 6 feet apart except for Troy and I. We went in together. The guy opened the door to get Troy, called Troy. Troy goes in, and immediately when Troy left, I turned to the guy next to me and I was like, "Listen, man, he's coming out in a fucking stretcher. He is so bad at getting shots. This is terrible. I am so
I'm
proud
fine
of him
at
for going in
getting
there by
shots.
himself." And like 5 seconds after that, the door opened, and you were like, yeah, you can come in too. He said, you can come in too. And I was like, what did I say, man? He needs me. And as I walked in, I was like,
That's funny.
he's got it, guys. He's got it. And then when we left and we both left together, I was like, he did it. He took it like a fucking chip. And everybody was like, yeah. It was great. I was very happy about it in the car.
I thought it was funny. Even while it was happening. Made getting my COVID shot more enjoyable. Not so much the next morning waking up hearing that the shot I just got is getting almost recalled. So
But highly recommend taking Richie Welbrock with you when you get a shot.
good time.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Good
Richie,
times.
I-
That should be your new job. You should just be someone's hype man.
Richie, I appreciate you having a story for us this week. Again, Can We Just Talk? Episode 28 in the books. A little hectic. I apologize. Keep it locked. We got more content coming out this week. Stay tuned with Polar Media.
job, Bobby.